We're going to begin our briefing of the Mason County Commission for the week of May 10th. We are going to open up and start with Support Services, Frank Pinter. Frank?
Thank you, Commissioners. The first item we have is a recommendation from the Lodging Tax Advisory Committee. And Diane and Rachel will bring that forward.
Good morning.
Morning.
So yes, the lodging tax met on May 4th because all of our contracts for services, they'll end the end of 2021. And they are recommending lodging tax that we contract with Northwest Event Organizers, which is Rachel Hansen. She's our current contractor for tourism development. She has brought forward the idea, the concept of a visitor welcome center. So the LTAC is recommending the county contract with her. In her current contract, she has an unanticipated services part that we haven't used this year. So they're recommending that the county contract with Rachel to explore this and bring forward more solid numbers and what it would take to do that.
Commissioners, comments?
Yeah, I appreciate this. I think this is, I think it's a worthwhile investment to certainly learn a little bit more about, what opportunities exist and how we can continue to build tourism in the county. But I would be interested in hearing a little bit more from Rachel later on too about how she'd use this and kind of what her thoughts are. And great cameo by the kitty there. That's great. Gotta love Zoom. But I think it's a great idea.
I'm looking forward to the presentation. We talked about it in our LTAC meeting, and I am super excited. So I'll talk more later if necessary.
Okay. Rachel, you want to go ahead and give a presentation? I'm already on board with this also, but if you don't mind, would you give us a brief presentation, please?
Thank you, Commissioners. Good morning. Happy Monday. Yeah, this is something that I've been thinking about for quite a while. My family, we travel a lot all over the place, and different states who have different budgets as far as tourism. Washington State is not one that has a healthy budget for tourism. We've discovered that they make it very easy for people to stop by. Sometimes they're even in rest areas. And I guess I've been working on a project called Concierge Project, which I presented some information for you guys in the materials that should be in your packets. And I have just been overwhelmed by the reception of people who have received this. And it's kind of gone to the point where there's a lot we can do for our providers and our folks that are to give support to the people who are actually providing services in the county, like the Ridge, some of the lodging facilities. And if we had a central location where we could also display some of our county assets, and since we are the gateway to Mason County, it seems appropriate that we also work with other tourism entities around the area, the whole Olympic Peninsula, to showcase them in a building that does more than just visitor information. It also provides a place where we can help get visitors to spend money in our county, I guess. Diane, did you want me to present any images, or is the package good enough as far as images and stuff?
That would be up to the commissioners. Do they want more? Or are they good with what was presented in the packet?
Commissioners?
I think I'm good with what was included in the packet. I think it gives us a good idea of what we might expect from a project like this. They all look pretty good.
Mr. Trask?
Yeah, I love the presentation. I think it's going to be, I think it's a great idea. It's something that Mason County has needed for a while. I think we are the gateway, and I know that that's kind of a catchphrase, but we are the gateway to the Olympics, and so if we can bring more attention to our beautiful county, why not?
And in the packet, commissioners, I included the draft scope of work that contract with NEO what we would be looking for from the study that Rachel would be doing. So the contract, what I'm proposing, would go on the May 25th agenda.
Are you comfortable with putting it on the agenda, commissioners? I am.
Yep.
I am as well.
Thank you.
Oh, that's what we will do. Thank you, Rachel.
Thanks, Rachel. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you, commissioners. The next item we have is Jennifer with a review of the 2021 budget amendments.
Thank you, Frank. Good morning, commissioners. So this is the second briefing on the amendments to the 2021 budget. We briefed it last week, and the new asks or requests are line items 12 through 19 on attachment A. And do you want me to read those off individually, or are you good with just a grand total? How would you like me to do this, commissioners?
Commissioners, do you have any questions regarding any of the line items here?
Just Jennifer, just I guess at a high level, from the last time you briefed this to today, just maybe hit if there were any changes.
Sure. So the total authorized expenditure appropriation asks are $2,193,716, and the breakdown is for the general fund, $236,627, the county road fund, $778,600, REIT 1, $300,000, North Bay Sewer, $125,000, Belfair Sewer Fund, $100,989, and Equipment Rental and Revolving Fund, $652,500. And of those requests, there is $897,275 that's either grant funds or some sort of revenue source.
And safe to say the biggest expenditure changes are the things that we were okay with as a commission regarding the roads department, the purchase of the dump trucks, and the salt shed completion, etc.
Yes, that is safe to say. And one of the big changes on here, when I had put the calendar together for the budget amendments, I had put June 8th as the scheduled hearing date, but that date does not fall in line with the public notice, the two-week requirement. So I'm asking to push this off until June 22nd and put the hearing notice on the May 25th agenda.
Are you comfortable with that, commissioners?
I'm good.
Same as I.
Okay, thank you very much. That's all I have.
Great job again, Jennifer, of course.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jennifer. The next item we have is following last week's conversation regarding consulting services for the replacement of the support services director's position. The commission asked that there be an additional consulting contract brought forward to discuss with the commission the pros and cons of a county administrator position. And we have that submitted. It was for $4,700 plus expenses. And if the board wishes, we can put that on the action agenda for tomorrow.
I'm supportive.
Yep, as am I.
Okay, that's what we'll do.
And the last item is just an update on the American Rescue Plan Act, ARPA. The U.S. Treasury was supposed to get guidance out last Friday to all of the states and counties, the recipients, for authorities and guidance on how to spend those dollars. That did not come. They said basically that it will be coming shortly. So there's nothing new that is here to bring forward to the board other than to say, as soon as we get it, we'll have a conversation around the details and the guidance.
It's a little frustrating. I know I was checking all weekend and hoping something would come out, but nothing has come out yet. So,
But admitted, Commissioner, you're not surprised, right?
I am completely surprised.
Yeah.
The federal government.
And that's all we have, commissioners. Thank you.
Thank you. Any questions for support services?
No. Nope, thanks, Frank.
Okay, hearing none, we are going to move over to community service, Dave Windom. I don't see him. Paddy, I see that you're on here. Would you like to go ahead and step forward and go first, or you want me to take a break and wait till we hear from Dave?
I'm ready, Commissioner. I think mine is going to take about 20 seconds, but so I'm happy to do it now.
Then,
Start the clock, commissioners.
yeah, if the commissioners has no objection, Paddy McGuire, the auditor's office, will present next.
So beginning July 1 by statute, the county auditor needs to produce a county voters pamphlet in every county. Part of that is adopting administrative rules regarding how people will submit items and all that sort of thing. I published and adopted rules, and I'm required by the statute to transmit them to the Board of Commissioners, and that's what I'm doing. I don't believe you have to do anything other than receive them.
I consider them received and transmitted. Commissioners, any objection to receiving that? Hearing none, then thank you, Paddy. Any questions?
I could kill some time here for you.
Any questions or comments for the auditor?
Hey, Patty, I do have one question for you. How long do you plan on using the kiosk? I know that we had a lease on it.
Happy to talk about that. So the three offices upstairs have talked. Our contract with QLIS goes through, I believe, July 8th or 9th. Our plan right now is to keep it online through the 4th of July weekend and then turn it off beginning that Monday, July 6th, when we reopen. We generally get sort of a rush of business around boat registrations in my office leading up to the 4th of July weekend. And we would expect that to happen again. So we'd sort of return to a more normal pace after the 4th of July weekend. And so that's our plan right now, is to not renew our contract and keep the TVs as reminders. We can program them to put up any information we want about social distancing and wear a mask, whatever messages we want to do, but remove the kiosk.
That works. I used it for the first time last week, and it was relatively painless.
Well, I will say, a quarter to a third of our customers wander upstairs and say it's broken, or they couldn't figure it out. So, I mean, it has been, I think on balance, something we needed to do, but I don't think any of the offices upstairs want to keep it forever.
It is funny. You can watch people beat it to death down there with their finger trying to make that one thing. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
All right. So with that being said, if you don't mind, if there's no objection, commissioners, we'll take our break until 9:30 when the next department is scheduled to come forward. Hearing no objection. Thank you, Mr. Auditor, and we will be back at 9:30. Commissioners, you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay, let's go ahead and start this back up again. Welcome back. We are going to move into discussions with Community Services and Dave Windom.
Okay, so good morning, Commissioners. Can you hear me?
Good morning.
Okay. So, well, we are pretty simple today. We've just got a one-pager for you. So, on today's, let me pull it up here. So we have a request to add a planner or senior planner position.
9:30, commissioners, you ready?
Oh, I am getting some feedback.
Let's go ahead and start this back.
Okay, are we there?
Yep. This is one of those days. I had it earlier. We're fine. Go ahead.
Wow. So this is to add a planner. This planner position we had talked about earlier in some discussion about having this as probably like a 2-year position and a sunset and then reevaluate. This position would be primarily directed towards work in water resource management. So work in the RIA 14, 15, 16, 22, 23, as well as looking at research and development of what water are we using in a basin by basin breakout. So, you know, we get a handle around, you know, what wells we have, what are our current uses, commercial uses, all those things. Because frankly, water resource management is going to be a big thing for years to come, I think. So we looked at this for the rest of the year. The budget would be around $46,000 for the rest of the year. And then it would be around $90,000 for the next year, which would be fiscal year 22. I think this is an important position to add into our mix of planners. This is just a large body of work that really requires somebody to be dedicated to it.
Which commissioner would like to go first?
I guess I'll jump in. So on its face, I'm supportive. I think this, I don't know if you mentioned it explicitly or not, Dave. I mean, I know the RIA work is going to be ongoing over the next couple of years as that gets kicked to ecology, and really not knowing how to prepare for what plan ecology implements is a challenge. But even more immediately, we do have a MOU currently with the Squaxin Island tribe that has a lot of deliverables that you know, have been a challenge for us to meet. And so I see this as a not just an opportunity to work on the RIA planning, but also to you know, protect the county from potential litigation as it relates to that MOU and other work that we have going on. So you know, I see a lot of benefit to it from that perspective as well.
Commissioner Trask?
Yeah, I'm supportive as well. I know there's a lot going on, and we've got a lot of water surrounding Mason County or within Mason County. So I think that this is a good addition to the office.
And again, I would agree. My biggest concern has been also our past agreements that we have to fulfill. And I know that we need to do some work on that, not to mention all the things that are coming before us, as Commissioner Schutte had mentioned. So with that, we'll put it on the agenda. It is agreed.
Okay, and other than that, all I have is kind of an update on what's happening with COVID, if you would like me to go forward with that for just a couple of minutes.
Please.
Okay, so Mason County, our rates are coming, if they've plateaued and seem to be coming down. We'll see what happened over the weekend. So we're in no danger of going back into phase 2 at this time. The governor will be probably evaluating that this coming weekend with an announcement early next week. Right now we're in a pause. And for us, the pause really didn't make much of a difference because we're in phase 3. And until we come out with requirements for phase 4, it didn't make that big a difference. Now, with phase 4 being mentioned, we are working with the health officers and other public health folks. We're working on what does phase 4 look like, what's the timeline look like, and we're debating a couple of things. So do we open up Washington based on a date, or do we open up Washington based on a metric or a set of metrics and a date, or do we just open up based on a set of metrics? So that process started on Friday, and we will continue that process today. In fact, I have a meeting at 10 o'clock where we'll pick that question up and keep moving that forward. So we're in the process of planning as to what that looks like. There are a couple other things we're also planning around, and that's what does the fall look like? Will we see something happening with the new variants? And then what does flu season look like? So we really had no flu season this last year. So we're making plans, ordering vaccine for our regular flu clinics in the fall. So there's still, even though it seems like we're kind of on a downward trend, there's a lot of planning work left to do around COVID and a lot of things going on. We have one last clinic for the second dose that we're doing out at the airport, out of Sanderson Field. And Peninsula Community Health Services is doing another clinic this week. And then we're going to reevaluate where do we go from there. If we open up the Pfizer vaccine for 12-year-olds and older, do we open up a new mass vax clinic, or are we at a point where we can handle those through doctor's offices, pharmacies, hospitals, etc.? So those conversations are all happening this week, and we'll let you know more as we go into next week.
Questions, commissioners? Then do you have anything? Go ahead.
I have just a comment and maybe a suggestion. You know, I'm full of them. Dave, first, I wanted to thank you for all the time that you put into this. This has been a trying year and a half, almost a year and a half. Well, it has been a year and a half. So anyway, it's been very trying for I think everybody. Your direction on COVID, I think jokingly we've called you the COVID commander, but we appreciate your work in this. Moving forward, if you could, man, media is all over this, and it sounds like the legislators are also jumping in suggestions for the governor as well. So if you could just keep us updated as much as possible, that would be great. I know we've worked well over the past year and a half, and so just keeping us in the loop is perfect.
Yeah, absolutely will, because I think this conversation is going to go on for a while.
Okay. Does anybody have any questions for Dave regarding any other issue in the department? Then we're going to go ahead and move forward. Thank you very much, Dave.
And thank you.
Thanks, Dave.
Next up, Loretta Swanson and Public Works.
Good morning.
Morning.
Good morning.
Happy Monday, commissioners. I'm not sure if Mike's jumped on yet or not.
I'm here.
Nope. All righty. Good deal. We have one item today, and that is a request to set a hearing for a road vacation on Walnut Street in 4th. And this is to revisit a vacation that we had already forwarded to the hearings examiner. And Mike, if you want to jump in and provide a little detail.
Yes, this road vacation number 410, Mary Layton. She's the property owner of 121 West Walnut Street. That's off of, what is it, Cliff? I forget the name of the road, the other road she's off of, but so she's petitioned for a vacation of 2 county easements. They're both unmaintained easements, unmaintained and non-open. So there's Walnut Street and then there's 4th Street that are adjacent to our property. So this plat was dedicated in 1938, plat of Moore's addition to city of Shelton, and there's no evidence of the 2 easements being open. So we would recommend the board to go ahead and set a hearing for the hearing examiner. June 23rd, I believe, is what we're recommending, to review our data and set a public hearing to have everybody heard.
Sounds good to me.
On this one, did they pay their the fee for the land, or is this one because you said it's coming back?
This is a new request, so our new code would apply here. Yes.
Okay.
We had discussed this one previously. Is that correct?
It had been.
What was the
down previously?
I'm sorry. What was that, Mike?
It actually, from what I was told from Phil, is that it was applied for previously, but the city of Shelton said that they would like to retain those as right-of-ways in the event that they annex this area. So we reached out to the city again, and at this point in time, they have told us that they would have no use for these right-of-ways. And that's part of the engineer's report.
Gotcha.
So is this a resubmittal then? Is that what you're saying?
No, well, it's a resubmittal of the same requester, but the previous one was denied. I don't know what year that was, but it was denied, and so we're considering this a brand new request.
I feel like it was maybe a year or two ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't too long ago.
Yeah.
Okay.
And we were very clear with the applicant that there is a new code in effect, and reapplying would trigger the requirement to compensate for the right-of-way should the vacation be approved.
Okay.
All right, are we good with putting this on the agenda?
I am.
Yes.
Okay, that's what we'll do.
Thank you, commissioners.
Do you have anything else for us?
That's about it. Just a reminder, we've got our hearing tomorrow for the amendment to the annual construction program and the 6-year tip. And we'll patiently wait after Alex's hearing.
Loretta or Mike, can you refresh my memory? This did go through TIPCAP. Did they have any comments that we should be aware of before tomorrow morning?
They did not. They did make a motion to approve the amendment as submitted. So that was part of their meeting last month. And TIPCAP members may jump on the Zoom meeting for the hearing in case you've got any questions of them, commissioners.
Great.
Sent them a link to make sure that if they have a comment, they can participate.
Cool.
All right, anything further for us, Loretta?
That is it this morning, commissioners.
Commissioners, you have questions for Loretta?
Yeah, just one real quick question, Loretta. Did you have a chance to review the MOU with SC Johnson and in particular paragraph 5 that Tim pointed out?
Yes, thank you, Commissioner. We did, and Richard and I both see no conflict. We're good to go.
Out of curiosity on that, did you reach out to Republic and ask them if they have issue with it? Because if we had those agreements, I remember this question from years ago when we had battles over that, and I don't remember us actually changing the verbiage.
Mm-hmm.
So are they comfortable with that? Or are they going to challenge that?
Richard and I did talk about that, and I will follow up with him this morning, Commissioner, to see if he did follow up with Republic. If
Okay.
not, I'll do that first thing this morning.
And just to be known, after talking to Tim, I also had a question in regards to having a cap to make sure that we don't go directly into a battle afterwards when it comes to monies and stuff, that the cap be on our side as well, that we're only limited to a certain amount. I don't know if the commissioners had anybody reached out to the commissioners regarding that, or have you been reached out? I had that discussion with Tim.
No, can you fill me in a little bit more?
Yeah,
Yeah.
In looking at it, there just seems to be inherent risk for the county if we don't have a cap on what we would expend. We go right into to trying to cancel a contract and stuff without anything in the verbiage. They can already stop it at a certain dollar amount without any type of penalty. We need to be in the same position, just as a safety thing for the county. It would make no sense for us to have to spend 20,000. Our intention is to spend $2 or the like. We should have a cap just like they did. It seemed to have been struck out, which was interesting enough. So I asked Tim to look at that a little more. He agreed that, you know, it is something that should be considered, the idea of making sure that we have a limit as commission, what we decide we want to allow. And other than that, if we do nothing and we decided in the middle of expending money that we've gotten too far, then we go right into battling with the contract itself. So something to consider. You can give Tim a call also.
I'll do that. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Anything more for Loretta? Then commissioners, I'm going to ask for, because we don't have anything here until the executive sessions and stuff, I'm going to ask for a 5-minute break. Reason why I'm saying that is because we are on a regular scheduled meeting and we are set up with the state that these are our meetings. I think we could go right into an executive session. It doesn't have to be on the time limit, but I want to verify that. Would you guys be interested in coming back quicker to get it done, or would you rather wait till the time?
I'm good moving forward as quickly as possible.
As am I.
Okay, then let's take a 5-minute break and see what we can put together. And so we will come back at 9:51, please.